This is KVUE News Midday.
A horrific chemical weapons attack in Syria. The recovery happening today and how the Trump administration is responding.
Big changes coming to the IRS. Many people skeptical of possible scams this tax season. How to make sure you're getting calls from the right place and not being scammed. Good morning to you. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. Thank you for watching Austin's News Leader. Let's begin this midday with a look at how beautiful it is in our city in Austin.
That's
today.
right. A good day today. This view may be sticking around for a while today, although it is a bit breezy out there. Let's get a look at what we're tracking now with Storm Team meteorologist Nathan Gogo. Hello, Nathan.
Hey, good morning to the both of you. If there is one wrinkle in the forecast for today, it is the winds, gusting at about 15 to 25 miles per hour at times. But if you have stepped outside, you know what I'm talking about. It feels cool. It feels refreshing. Radar's quiet. Nothing but sunshine expected for today. So here's that look at radar. Nothing falling from the sky. But if we do look at Old Glory, it is waving in the wind quite a bit. We've got gusts at about 15 to 25 miles per hour, sustained at 7. But you factor in the wind gusts, and it's feeling a little bit cooler because the gusts are a little bit high at this point. So here are the temperatures, real time, mid-50s in the hill country, still feeling quite cool. 59 in Round Rock, 58 in Leander, 63 in Austin at the airport as well, 59 in Bastrop, in Thorndale coming in at 57. So where do we go from here? We're looking at highs in the low to mid 70s, so not climbing too much more than we are now, only about 10 more degrees to go. We are going to be warming things back up though as we head towards the end of this week, and then we're tracking storm chances by the beginning of next one. We'll have more on that coming up in the full forecast in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you so much, Nathan. This midday we have learned the man hit by a driver in South Austin last night has died. The driver crashed into the man around 9 p.m. on William Cannon Drive, west of I-35. Austin police said at one point there were reports that the driver did not stop at the scene, but it is not clear if they have made any contact with the driver since then.
Round Rock fire crews investigating a massive fire that burned through an abandoned home last night. Take a look at these pictures sent to KVUE from viewer Aaron Carpenter. The fire happened about 9 p.m. near several older homes off Chisholm Trail. No one was hurt, but as you can see, the flames could be seen from the nearby highway. Several trees alongside the home caught fire as well.
Today, Wendy Davis will join hundreds of Planned Parenthood supporters at the state capitol to fight for women's reproductive rights. Nearly 1,500 activists are expected to turn out for Planned Parenthood Texas Lobby Day. They're aiming to educate lawmakers in the community about women's health. They'll also host a virtual reality experience that puts viewers in the shoes of a patient entering one of their health centers. The rally begins in just under an hour at noon.
2 weeks from today, State Representative Donna Dukes will appear in court to face multiple corruption charges made against her. Dukes accused of tampering with government records and abusing her title. She's now facing 13 felony charges. Yesterday, a Travis County judge denied Dukes' request to dismiss 4 of those counts against her. The charges stem from travel reimbursement forms Dukes submitted 4 days she allegedly did not travel to the Capitol. Fayette County's crime-fighting canine officer has struck again. Lobos and his handler, Sergeant Randy Thuman, found about 5 pounds of cocaine during a traffic stop Monday. They stopped a pickup on I-10, and when the driver and passenger gave completely different travel plans, Thuman got suspicious. Lobos alerted Thuman that there were drugs, but the canine couldn't locate them inside the car. The officer then found the drugs taped to the driver's bodies. The drugs have a street value of about $250,000.
Arrests at the border are plummeting, which could be a signal that fewer people are trying to sneak into the U.S. Homeland Security head John Kelly says fewer than 13,000 people were caught crossing the border last month. In February, they detained more than 58,000. Kelly believes the president's tough talk on immigration and arrests of immigrants living in the country illegally have likely acted as deterrents. Well, the United Nations is holding an emergency meeting today over the latest attack in Syria. It's President Donald Trump's first major crisis overseas, and his administration is condemning the attack that killed dozens of people.
ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports that meanwhile the White House is placing the blame on his predecessor.
These are the cruel and horrifying images coming out of northern Syria after suspected chemical weapons attacks hit the city of Idlib Tuesday. More than 70 people died in the attack, including women and children.
Security Council is called to order.
Today, United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley is leading the Security Council in emergency talks about the attack in Syria, emphasizing human rights. Rescue workers, villagers, humanitarian doctors all try to wash the deadly chemicals off the poisoned victims as they struggle to breathe. The bodies of lifeless children carried away.
These children, when we arrived, they have been point people, drowsiness, agitated.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's reported use of chemical weapons against his own people is being called a crime against humanity. The Russian Defense Ministry is now claiming the chemicals were released from a rebel bomb factory after it was hit by a Syrian airstrike. Weapons experts tell us that makes no sense.
No, I think this is pretty fanciful, and no doubt the Russians trying to protect their allies. Axiomatically, if you blow up sarin, you destroy it.
The White House condemned the attack, but also placed blame on President Obama.
These heinous actions by the Bashar al-Assad regime are a consequence of the past administration's weakness and irresolution.
But when President Obama was considering military action 4 years ago, Donald Trump, back then a private citizen, tweeted, "President Obama, don't attack Syria. There's no upside, tremendous downside." President Trump will likely be questioned about this at a news conference later on this afternoon. At the United Nations, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
Meanwhile, in Russia, police think they have found the remains of the man who set off a bomb in St. Petersburg in a train there. The attack killed 14 people, injured at least 45 more. The suspect was a Russian-born citizen in his 20s with links to terrorism.
North Korea launched another missile which landed in the Sea of Japan. The latest test comes before a meeting between Donald Trump and China's president. The two are expected to talk about containing North Korea. The IRS is now using private debt collectors to gather up money on taxes people across the country owe. And this means you could get calls if you owe anything. But the IRS wants you to know the difference between a collector and a scammer. So here's how to know if the call is legit. The IRS will contact you multiple times in writing before you're ever called by contractors. If you get a call before getting a notice, then it's likely a scam. Also, you won't hear from a private collector unless you have multiple years of overdue taxes. And all payments will be made to the IRS and not the contracted company. The IRS will never ask for your credit card information over the phone and will not threaten to have you arrested for not paying your taxes.
A Houston man caught on camera trying to run a motorcycle off the road faces a judge. The sentence handed down this week. And the hunt for the person who killed a deputy constable in Baytown last week continues. The clues investigators have found so far.